Hello again, ladies and gentlemen. I've just woken up on day 2 of the league. Just wanted to go over what I did on day 1 and what my plans are for the rest of the league. So we'll get straight into it. I played a relatively unhealthy amount on day 1. My goal was to get to 50 map completion for the day, and I'm happy to say that's where we ended up. It was a bit of a grind to get there, so I stopped bang on 50, but we did it, so I'm pretty happy. The character that I played is nothing too special. It's a Righteous Fire Inquisitor. I'm using Armageddon brand, but I'm going to be transitioning out of this hopefully today. We'll see how we go. The idea is to use the Rathpith Globe shield, and I want to see if I can make an Inquisitor that can use just about any spell pretty effectively. In my ideal situation, I would like to be able to use Arc in one map, and then the next map swap over to like Flame Blast, or something like that, and still have it be relatively effective. I don't like getting bogged down with just the one skill all the time, and I also don't like making new characters. So that's what I want to do over the next few days. I'm hoping I can do it tonight, but we'll see how we go. I'll do a quick rundown of all the gear I'm wearing, but honestly, it's nothing too crazy. All the gear is solo self-found, except for the helmet, which I paid 10 chaos for, and this shield, which I also paid 10 chaos for. Everything else I found by myself, so we've done pretty well, I think. It's just very, very generic gear, nothing to get too excited about. I see my cat's just about to fall off the desk. Hello. Passive tree is a little scuffed. I started off following Jung Roan's cold Righteous Fire, which was pretty good, but I abandoned it pretty quickly, I gotta say, at around level 40 or thereabouts. Once I got Armageddon brand, I decided this was the life for me. So I started transitioning a little bit more into Armageddon brand, but because I'm using a half and half tree, I'm half Righteous Fire, half Armageddon brand, I feel like I'm missing a little bit of damage and maybe even a little bit of survivability here and there. I did get my Polaric invitation done, you can see on here. So I killed, I don't know, the Black Star, I think it's called. I killed her. I haven't gotten up to Shrek just yet, but he'll be coming down in a couple of hours here, I believe. The Black Star was a tough fight, I gotta say. I'm severely under-geared and under-optimized. It took me 2 attempts, which means I killed her on my 12th portal. So it was pretty rough, but I did it barely. Highest map I've completed, oops again. Highest map I've completed up here is a tier 13. I'm not sure how I got this map all the way out here, but I did somehow. And to get there, I used the Atlas Rush strategy that a lot of people are using. Only problem with this I found was when you're rushing tiers higher and higher and higher, and you're not following a build guide to the T, or you don't have the skill like me, you're going to run into issues. Like anything over tier 8s have been pretty rough. Like the tier 13 was a total nightmare, and I think that's reflected in my slash deaths, which is at 78 for one day. It's pretty awful, I gotta say. But we're getting there. Bit rough to league start, but we're getting there. I could have invested a bit more into my character. Like I said, I only spent 20 chaos on the character in total, and the rest of my money I've invested it into some other goodies. I bought a fractured life jewel here. This should be worth a few divines in a few days. I got a fractured minion wand. I don't know what this will be worth, but I only paid half a divine for it. Hopefully it goes to 1, maybe 2 divines in a few days time. All this gear over here is just stuff I've picked up which I may or may not use for the Rathpith switch. I've got 3 Voidborn keys. These will be a couple of divines in a few days time. Maybe 1 divine, but they'll go to 2 divines if I wait long enough. And I've got a heap of cluster jewels here. They're just 10% attack jewels with 8 passives and a low item level. These eventually go for about 2 divines each, but I'll happily sell them for maybe 100 to 150 chaos each in a few days time. So that'll be a nice little cash injection. All up in here, we maybe have 10 to 15 divines worth of stuff if I waited 3 or 4 days. And that should be enough to get the ball rolling. But for today, the goal is to get up to the point where I can switch to the Rathpith Globe shield and then hopefully comfortably do tier 16 maps. And then maybe if we're lucky, I can get started doing the Veiled Temples, which I ran last league. They were really good and really profitable. I'd like to do those again. But I think, however, I might use Stormbrand for that, as I can also put an Impulses on with Stormbrand and then just explode the whole pack. That'll be the ideal scenario for today, but it might be a bit of an ask. So we'll see how we go. Anyway, if you're interested in seeing how the Rathpith Globe build turns out, then follow along. They'll be putting out another video either tomorrow morning or the next day and give you an update on the progress then. Thanks.